Get ready for GG9. We got 3 main goals with this one. We're talking advanced core training. We're gonna bulletproof the back. And we're also gonna build stamina and endurance. Now, this is a progression on GG3 and GG6. You can continue with those routines if needed, all right? But if you're ready to level up, here's how we about to do it. The back to belly get up, all right? Hip mobility, upper back mobility. We start here. I'm going to bring this top leg over. Look at how good that butt looks, huh? He's 40. Look at that ass. Tight. All right, now what I'm gonna try to do, and again, I recommend you've gotta be able to get to the point where you can rest the head on the arm of this down arm. Now we're just gonna slip and slide and try to get that pelvis, the whole pelvis down on the floor. Relax, breathe into it. See what's happening too, this open chain exercise in the top arm, it's stabilizing too, all right, in free space. Now, after I feel good here, I like to do some leg movement. You can do kind of pump, ooh, pump it, okay? I'm gonna bring it back, and now I'm gonna go into a sit-up, get up. So V straddle shape, exhale up, bring it back, come up, slide through, get all the way up, and then stand into it, and then bring it back down. So it's a variation on the get up by coming through the sit-up position for more core work because you're much stronger and more stable here, right? I got extra point of contact. Whereas here, look at me, less stable. And then control it back down, either go into my next rep or I can finish it up and roll and set up for the other side. Awesome full body mobility drill. Obviously you want to break the get up down into its stages, but once you can combine them, that's why you learn it, because there's so many different things you can do on top of it for variety, fun, and more results. The low windmill. Now this is a classic kettlebell exercise, great for bulletproofing the back and improving your shoulder mobility, also hip hamstring mobility. Now let's talk setup. So this foot, it's the foot of what will be the back leg. I'm gonna keep it straight, the leg, and then I'm gonna keep the toe pointing forward. This foot, it's angled out about 30 to 45 degrees and actually have the kettlebell set up at a perfect angle. And why the kettlebell is so great for this is because the size of the bell and the length of the handle puts you in the ideal pickup position or range of motion for the exercise. So what you do is you get here, inhale down, I'm pushing this hip back, leg straight, this leg bends, and I grab it, and then I'm gonna pick it up. Now, before you pick it up, let's focus on this position. Now, if you're here, look at this. That's not a proper shape. I got some bending and rounding of my spine, and my shoulder is forward. So if you can't, with your body weight, get into this position where you can open up the chest, all right? Don't pick the weight up. But I'm gonna exhale it up, and then slide it right down the leg. Obliques as well. Now there's lots of progression on top of that. I could end up doing a high windmill with weight here, or lighter weight here, heavier weight here. We'll get to that, but this is where you start. Now you can use a dumbbell. The issue with the dumbbell is you have to be very mindful of not forcing the range of motion because there's no way you're gonna get that weight to the floor, right? So you'll just slide it down and you stop at the point. I mean, you could probably get it all the way down. I mean, I can, but it takes a while to get to that position, right? So I think the kettlebell is probably the best option for this, especially if you're a newbie. Start light, 10 to 25 pound range is a good way to start with that, or just working out with your body weight, okay? There is no better exercise for your grip in your forearms than the one arm hang, but it's really hard to get to. After all, a lot of people struggle to hang from both arms. So what you try to do is once you can hang from both arms for at least a minute, ideally 2 minutes or more, you're ready to start dipping into or progressing into the single arm progression. But we need a tweener, we need a stepping stone, and this is one of them. So you take a hand towel and you grab it like this. Now, the higher I grab on it, the more assistance I get. The lower I grab on it, the less this arm can assist the working arm, which is this guy who's doing most of the work. So what you want to try to do is get like this. We'll get into a full hang position. And you can do this from a passive position to get a stretch, or you can pack the shoulders down and back and get more active. And you can see that elbow is going to bend a little bit, but the other thing that's happening here too is not only is this arm having to do more work, let's say 70 to 80% of my body weight is now on this arm, but not the full 100. This now is actually working hard, kind of a crush or squeeze grip. That towel grip is an awesome grip challenge. So both arms are active, but this one has put it at a mechanical disadvantage, an uneven weight distribution to get you ready for a one-arm hang, but also strengthen the other hand in a unique way. Obviously, you do both sides, and keep in mind, because both arms are working, you got to take a little rest when you switch sides. You can't go right into the other side because you're going to get weakened performance in that case, right? But an awesome exercise, and again, this is so important for dexterity too. The squeezing of it, it helps get the digits going, all right? And that's very important for long-term health and performance too, all right? Especially if you want that old man strength. The single arm push-up is our goal. That's our core exercise. That's how we build strength with our body weight. Now, once you can do 10 to 20 plus reps, 2-arm push-ups, you're ready to start going into some single arm push-up progressions, but stepping stones. We can't just go from 2 to 1. That's too much increase in load, too much stress. So we start with the uneven push-up, and I like a medicine ball. Any medicine ball will work, but the Dynamax ball is ideal because of the height of the ball is gonna really put you at a disadvantage at the bottom. So this arm does more work, and also you get more stretch and range of motion. So what we do is consider this the work arm, all right? I want at least 60 to 70% of the weight on this guy, and the remaining percentage is here. I get locked in. I like to block my feet together, squeeze the legs together, get more core stability, all right? Inhale down slow, and don't just blow out of this position. Be able to hold and pause it for 1 to 2 seconds, and then push up. This also gives a little bit of a stability challenge to help fortify that rotator cuff. Once you can do that for 10 reps per side, we progress to the archer push-up. And this one is super tough. The goal is, again, the straighter the arm, the less it can assist. Basically, it means that this arm is in a press position, this arm is in a fly position. You're much weaker on a fly than a press. So the straighter it is, the more challenge you get. I like to start in the plank position and get it out as far as I can, and then get as much of my weight pushed over to the work arm. I'm gonna inhale down through the nose into the belly. Pause for a second. See that straight arm? Push up. And again, as much as this arm wants to assist, because of that mechanical disadvantage with the arm straight, it can't. So that's about almost 80 to 90% of what would be a true one-arm push-up with added stability. So once you can do 10 reps per side of an archer push-up, you have a true shot at a full range of motion single arm push-up. So that's one of your goals as you move into that ultimate exercise. And it is. I don't care how much anyone can bench press. When someone can do a full chest to floor single arm push-up, now that's impressive. If I could only do a single core exercise for the rest of my life, it would be the hanging leg raise. And I'll talk about why coming up. But first of all, there's a particular setup here that makes you get so much more out of this exercise. Number one, put a medicine ball between your legs and squeeze the hell out of it. You activate the inner thigh and groin more, also the pelvic floor, all right? And that's critical because your pelvis and your lower back, they work together. The lumbar spine attaches to the pelvis. So the better our pelvic positioning, the better our spinal positioning, all right? So if you don't do that properly, you can end up hurting your lower back and not getting more core activation. Now the other piece of this, all right, this is gonna work your hip flexors and your lower abs, all right, in a serious way, especially when you talk about the range of motion we use. But anytime you get your arms overhead, it makes it super hard for your spine to stabilize. And you're working your whole upper body. This is a full body abs exercise. You understand what I'm trying to tell you right now? Like, this is the move that you want to invest in for your core long term. So we get here, and I like to actually, you got to be ready for it, but I like to actually loop the thumb over as well. It just makes it so that I keep the arms straighter and get more scapular and lat activation. But the first thing to do is, while you're here, can you, even from a passive, can you hang and stretch and squeeze the ball? And can you feel comfortable in that position? This is actually one of my favorite things to do to actually decompress my spine and stretch my shoulders. The weight of the ball actually tractions the hips more and helps decompress the spine more as well, the weight of that. So that's just a great, anytime, anywhere mobility or warm up to a little side to side action. I can do some shrugs. Now, can I pack them down and back and hold that position? And if the answer is no, you're not ready to lift the legs. All right, so the goal is, with that medicine ball, at least a 30-second hang packed down to get into the exercise. Now let's get into the movement. So we're here. I'm going to inhale into my belly to the nose, and then pack down, lift up, and get the knees above hip level. That's where you get the psoas and low abs really going. Inhale down. Hold it, squeeze it. Inhale down. Now, here's an extra little tip. My all-time favorite ab workout. I start with a 30-pound med ball. I do max reps, take a brief break, move to a 20-pound ball, then a 10, and then I finish with body weight. Triple drop set, and it'll be done in 5 minutes. The best abs workout of your life, but it's also full body because I'm hanging using my whole body weight. So, and typically what I'll do is about 5 reps with the 30, maybe 10 with the 20, another 10 with the 10, and then it's 10 plus with body weight. So just to give you an idea of like all the ways you can go with this, but such a good movement. And again, the spinal health benefits are off the charts. Do it today. Assume the position, all right? I want you to pull the shoulder blades all the way down and back. Don't just get here. I want you to pull it so almost like the top of your head is touching the ground. Full scapular retraction and depression. Now, you're gonna drive one foot underground to activate the glutes and one knee tucks to the chest to activate the hip flexors. It's called the row runner. Inhale down, exhale up. Make it harder by adding a row between reps. All right? It's a really nice corrective exercise. This will improve your gait, it'll build your back, and it'll also crush your core and get those hip flexors going. You know those money makers? Make no mistake, this is an advanced exercise. The L-sit, wow. Being able to extend your legs out in front of your body and holding that for time on the floor, so hard. But where do you start? You gotta start from high parallel bars or the dip support position. Now first, are you capable of, this is how a lot of people start the dip. Look at my shoulders, okay? Like, this isn't awful, but you can't do the L-sit from this position. You gotta be able to push those all the way down. You gotta press the palms all the way through the bars, do this exercise properly. So your first thing is, can you hold that position for at least a minute, ideally up to 2, okay? That's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is, can I do at least 10 reps where I am start here, squeeze the feet together, make sure everything's even, then just keeping them together and keep tension. The more we squeeze in, we create more midline stability and tension to the whole body. All I'll do there is get to dip support, bend the knees at 90 degrees. Can I do 10? Perfect reps. Inhale down, exhale up. And something happens special here too. I can't just get here, I gotta actually push away and almost kind of lean back so I can extend. And that's the move. So I come up, exhale, point, bring it back. All right? So it's kind of a tweener. Eventually, you're able to do that with legs straight, but to start, we tuck the knees, briefly extend out the legs for a count or two, bring them back, and then lower. Eventually, we'll build up to something special. But here's a big stepping stone in one of the quests to do one of the more challenging core exercises on the planet. It's not only gonna make you strong, but it will shred up that core in a big way. You could say, oh, there's no spot reduction. No, this is full body. So you're burning fat everywhere. Do it today. Prepare for the planche walkout. That's a hard word to say, planche. P-L-A-N-C-H-E, all right? And what is the planche? Well, what it is in gymnastics, it's basically, and they support their whole body weight, insane strength, where they get their shoulders so far in front of their hands like this. Now, I'm doing this exercise for more advanced wrist mobility where my fingers are elevated, so you can do this on the floor. But again, my goal in this is I wanna get my wrists really comfortable and stable in that stretch position so I can build up to this because it is such a great exercise for the shoulders. Here's the planche walkout. So what we do is start in a regular push-up position, and what I'm gonna do is slowly walk as far forward as I can, and when I get to end range, extend out onto the toes and really stretch it out. See that? Now, I'm gonna come back and work as far out as I can overhead. And then I'm gonna come back and just repeat for time. Breathing wise, we can exhale going forward. Inhale going back. And again, you can start with a nice small range of motion here in the beginning, all right? It doesn't have to be as extreme each way. Now, another option, maybe more accessible, is you take a pair of push-up bars or even some heavy dumbbells on the floor that give you some separation from the ground. The inclination just makes it more accessible and puts your shoulder in a better position. So same concept, and also I can go hammer grip, easier on the wrists and shoulders. So just walk it forward into that planche and then walk it back into that kind of overhead push-up support position. So you've got some options, but man, such a challenging exercise. And again, another stepping stone to advanced calisthenics, all right? Body weight only gets boring when you don't get better and make progression. So a smart, intelligent system will show you how to make your body your barbell, and that's what we do. Everybody says they want core, right? But when you start doing workouts like this, it makes you change your mind. Core training can be super tough because you know what? It requires so much focus, attention to breathing and positioning. So take your time with this stuff, buy into it. But I'll tell you what, once you lock down the middle of your body, everything low and high is unstoppable, okay? Let's lock it down, have fun. You're done in 20 minutes. Make your post-workout report in the comment section below and keep showing up, baby. Keep showing up.
Go.
Halfway.
Rest. Go.
Halfway.
Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. Halfway. Rest. Go. halfway. Rest.